What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Movies. I'm your host, Alpha Nerd, and today I'm going to be talking about The Running Man from 1987. Let me tell you, this is 80s cheese at its finest. Interesting fact, this was a novel written in 1982 by Richard Bachman, a pseudonym of Stephen King. Strange, right? Yeah, so this movie was loosely based on that novel, and let me tell you, this is 80s cheese at its finest. It is absolutely ridiculous. I couldn't imagine being a teenager, say 14, 15, 16, and stumbling across this movie. I'd be laughing for 2 hours straight. This is definitely an awesome movie. It's so bad it's good, but it's not bad either. It's a hard one to describe. When watching it, there were so many scenes that I want to talk about that I knew I really couldn't fit them all into a reasonably short video. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this movie for yourselves. And I'm sure a lot of you enjoy this movie. For my younger audience, let me tell you, check this movie out if you want a good laugh, because you will definitely laugh at a lot of scenes. It's corny, but it's self-aware enough to know that it's corny and stupid. So this movie starts off following the character Ben Richards. That's right, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays a cop or a military soldier flying a helicopter, and he gets orders to kill civilians, in which he does not want to do. Let's take a quick look at that.
Food riot in progress. Approximately 1,500 civilians. No weapons evident.
Proceed with Plan Alpha. Eliminate anything moving.
I said the crowd is unarmed. There are lots of women and children down there. All they want is food, for God's sake.
As you were, Richard. Proceed with Plan Alpha.
Yeah, guys, so that's a pretty hilarious scene. This movie has a big theme going with editing, where they frame people and they use editing to fit their narrative, change things. They're constantly framing Arnold throughout this movie. So long story short, Ben Richards goes to jail. He's in this very strange futuristic jail in old 2017, which makes me laugh. It's funny that they didn't just ramp the numbers up to like 2060, 2070, whatever. Maybe they wanted us to get old enough to live and, see how inaccurate they were of their depiction of the future. Los Angeles is in ruins. A lot of movies did that from the 80s. I do get a good laugh out of it. Other funny things I'm going to talk about in this movie are like the fact that they have phones that still have cords, yet the girl can walk in the room and be like, lights on, make me coffee, television on. She can just say the name of the show and it pops up. And oh boy, let me tell you about her exercise show with Jesse the Body Ventura. Absolutely awesome.
Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready for Captain Freedom's workout.
Yes, it's America's own.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura. Fuck, man. He was a wrestler. He was corny. He was cool as a wrestler. And he's certainly corny and cool in this film. Pretty awesome that both Arnold and Jesse the Body in 1987 were in The Running Man and my favorite movie all time, The Predator. Anyways, back to the jail scene. While they're attempting to escape, they have these collars that they wear around their neck. Basically, if they leave the premise, they'll detonate and blow their head to smithereens. Great incentive to stay in the premises, right? So they have like a nerdy tech guy who's trying to hack their system and break down the sensor so they can all run away and escape. I don't think they really thought this through. I don't know why the guard didn't have guns as backups, but nonetheless, there's this overeager guy who jumps the gun and runs out and has his head explode. And I quite enjoyed the subtleness of this scene. Yeah, pretty awesome, right? So I'm telling you, there's just scene after scene after scene after scene in this movie that is ridiculous. Another funny scene that couldn't help but make me howl and think, where are these shows? Because let's face it, these shows would get huge ratings. It's obviously inhumane, and the idea of this movie is a depiction of a kind of a sick futuristic world where it's not humane. It's the opposite of the way we should be evolving as people. You know what I mean? As we move progressively forward, life should become more civilized, as it has been. History has proven that. This movie is kind of showing that opposite growth in humanity with TV shows like Climbing for Dollars. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so fucking awesome. Where is that TV show? How can I watch that show? How can we get Climbing for Dollars on our TV these days? Like I said, there's just an endless amount of goofy, silly things to talk about in this film. One of my favorite things about this movie, and I'm sure your favorite as well, is the bad guys. We got Sub-Zero, or what do they call him? They have some ridiculous name for Sub-Zero.
Let's welcome the incredible Iceman, who slices his enemies limb from limb into quivering bloody sushi, Professor Sub-Zero!
They have Dynamo. Personal favorite, Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw is a beast with no neck. This dude is juiced to the grills. They have a scene of him picking up a motorcycle over his head. And one scene I really, really do love is when he starts to overpower Arnold. As this movie shows Arnold's strength in many different scenes as well, Arnold was the man, right? He was just like that true character of strength and power and raw brutality, force, and brute strength and brawn. And to see Buzzkill overpower him in the one scene, only for a moment, where Arnold has to fight back, and he takes this chainsaw and puts it up between his legs and cuts him right up the fucking middle. Let's check it out.
That's all right. Keep it down.
Yeah, pretty awesome, right? Well, you know, like, honestly, there's just endless awesome scenes. One of my favorite things about this movie is Richard Dawson. Why? Richard Dawson plays a TV show host. In reality, he was a TV show host. So he's so believable in this role. The audience is great too. Everything's ramped up and over the top. There are some other funny things I like about this film, like the way they enter the show, The Running Man. They get in this weird cage spaceship that looks something like a sewer shark, and it launches them down this tube at ridiculous speeds. Like the one nerd guy actually looks physically ill from the short ride in this because, yeah, it would. The G-forces they'd be hitting would probably make you barf. Of course, Arnold handles it like a man. He gets out and he enters this contest and just presses forward. It's just, this movie is just I don't want to call it a thrill ride. It's a cheese ride. This movie is a cheese ride from start to finish. Girl Maria, she's gorgeous and she looks awesome in her spandex suit. Arnold looks hilarious in his spandex suit. I'm sure the ladies might have enjoyed it back in the day. It's just one of those films, and I totally understood why somebody recommended this film to me. Being a big Arnold fan, and I can turn around behind me, and there's a whole section behind me here of just Arnold films. He was absolutely my favorite growing up as a kid. Many of his movies are iconic and memorable, and this is definitely one of them. Maybe not for the right reasons, because I wouldn't call this a great movie. Far from it, but it's a fun movie. It's absolutely a fun film, and I can come back to this movie time and time again. You know, I watched it with a friend a few years ago. I showed it to her, and she liked it. She didn't think it was great, but you know, she had got a kick out of it because it was super funny. Things like Climbing for Dollars and just the idea of the Running Man in general are some hilarious TV show ideas. Just the way the audience is. There's one scene I'm going to show in a moment where this little old lady, after Ben Richards has killed Sub-Zero and he's killed Buzzsaw and he's showed mercy to Dynamo, to later the girl gets to take out Dynamo, which is great, and he kills Fireball, and it's just fantastic. But the audience starts to cheer on Ben Richards, understandably so. So I'm going to show this little scene of this little old lady. This scene is ridiculous, and I'm going to follow it up with another ridiculous scene as well. So let's check out both of those.
The next kill will be made by Ben Richards.
Hold it. Agnes. Richards is a runner. You gotta pick a stalker.
I can pick anyone I choose. And I choose Ben Richards. That boy's one mean motherfucker.
Boy, lucky he didn't kill you too. Or rape you and kill you. Or kill you then rape you.
Yeah, so the little old lady cracks me up. Who decided that? I don't know, but it was genius. And of course, that's a really creepy scene too, with that girl just being enthralled by Arnold's, masculinity. But the things she say are kind of morbid and fucked up. The writing behind that kind of made me shake my head. I was like, it's a really, really weird scene. And I wanted to include that because it was a strange scene. In short, guys, basically I would say check this movie out if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it and it's been a while, go watch it again. You're going to have a good laugh. You're going to have a lot of fun. Two scenes I want to talk about before I end this video is the death of Sub-Zero. And not just the death, but what he says to Killian after he kills him. He looks up at the camera and says, "Killian, look, here's Sub-Zero. Now, plain zero." Like it's...
Hey, Killian! Here is Sub-Zero! Now, plain zero!
It's just corny, it's just funny, it's just awesome. And honestly, the other scene I'm going to show is one of Arnold's most iconic scenes. One of his most memorable lines and scenes in general, when he looks into the camera in a furious rage and screams at Killian. Killian offers him a 3-year contract to be a stalker and be on the show, as Ben Richards is murking all his men. Jesse the Body gets called into action, but he's retired and he basically says no. So they edit in a scene where they kill Arnold. They do camera work to make it look like Arnold's been killed, to trick the audience. The audience is all very disappointed because people start betting on Arnold. But that scene is a scene that will be remembered forever in Arnold's legacy, no question. So let's check out both of those guys. And I'm just going to close in saying, guys, thank you so much for watching Talking Movies. It's always a pleasure to do these. I have a lot of fun making them. I have a lot of fun watching movies, being a movie buff, being an Arnold buff. And yeah, until next time, guys, keep it cool, keep it classy, and always watch kick-ass movies.
You cold-blooded bastard. I'll tell you what I think of it. I live to see you eat that contract. But I hope you leave enough room for my fist, because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine!